All right, number 5. Let's go with Henry Ruggs III, the Speedster. We know about the speed, right? The 4.27 40 at the combine, fastest in 2020. He wanted to run a 4.22. He didn't, but still, under 4.3, that just shows the type of speed that you have. Listen, he didn't have a huge college career, but he did have 24 career receiving touchdowns, which is taking advantage of 98 career receptions. So if you can turn 24 of those into touchdowns, then you know he's going to put in work for the Raiders. Tyrell Williams there, it's a good yin and the yang. Let's move this thing along. Will Fuller. Will Fuller has had games where he has just outshined everybody. We're talking speed, catching the rock, but then there's games where he drops the ball and he's unhealthy. So if he can string all of this together, the opportunity without DeAndre Hopkins being there and then staying healthy, we can finally get the full Will Fuller experience. That's a 1,000-yard season, big splash plays, and then touchdowns to add on to that. Deshaun Watson is going to be looking at him and Brandon Cooks, but I feel like Will Fuller, he's a different type of guy with a different type of speed, and he can show that this upcoming season. Number 3, CeeDee Lamb. I know we haven't seen him yet, but still, we're talking about a team that had the number 2 pass offense in 2019. And just think about the guys that are now gone. Okay, Jason Witten, gone. Randall Cobb, gone. This is a guy that averaged close to 22 yards of reception in college. That means he's a big play wide receiver, big frame, a little bit different of a skill set than Amari Cooper. So you know that they're going to be a good balance together. And then you have a great running game. And I always tell you guys, man, when you have a great running game, it makes the receiver's job that much easier. So Ezekiel Elliott gets to cooking. Dak Prescott builds on what he did last year. CeeDee Lamb will be the recipient of a lot of big plays when it comes to the Cowboys and that new revamped offense. Mike McCarthy at the helm trying to reestablish the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC East. Number 2, Deebo Samuel.
Oh, yeah.
800 yards last season. Second most ever by any 49ers rookie. Yeah, second most ever by any 49ers rookie. You know who's first on our list? The GOAT himself, Jerry Rice. But he's a beast, though. And I love guys that have the opportunity to step up and make plays now that the guy in front of them is gone. Emmanuel Sanders is gone, guys. So who's the number 1? Deebo Samuel. And I know Kyle Shanahan. I know what type of wide receivers he likes. Big, strong guys that are nicknamed Deebo because they bully everybody. He's physical, and this dude is going to be out there snatching chains like the real Deebo in Friday. Can't wait to see him back on the field this upcoming season. Number 1, DK Metcalf. 900 receiving yards last season. That was third amongst rookies. He had over 1,000 if you talk about the playoff games. But listen, this dude is a monster, and we're talking about a physical freak. We're all familiar with the picture that came out during the draft, and he looked like he molds Batman armor on top of his chest and abs. But the fact that in the playoff game, he didn't look like a rookie. He might have broke an NFL record, rookie record with 160 yards receiving, but in that NFC wildcard game, he was everything but. Now imagine what he's going to do this year with another year in the offense. Oh, and not to mention, he's working out with trainers that are NFL-based. So now we got Ruggs, Fuller, Lamb, Samuel, and DK Metcalf, who I feel like is about to take the league by storm with that type of size and speed and ability to catch the ball. Oh, and not to mention, we met him in Miami. He's a super humble dude, which means he's going to learn and listen to Russell Wilson. The sky's the limit for these guys on the list. So what say you? Come on, fight my 5.
I'll go. I love that you have DK Metcalf on there. He'll be on NFL Instagram Live with me at 5 p.m. Eastern tonight, so you guys check in and we can check in with him. He's been chefing some things up, and I'm excited to talk to him. Calvin Ridley, I think, should be on your list. Sanu gets traded, and he was balling out, and he got hurt, of course, week 14. He had an abdominal injury, but in those 3 games after the Sanu trade, he was averaging 100 yards a pop. He scored 3 touchdowns in that time. I think he carries that into 2020. I don't know if Julio's still ascending. I think he might be going the other way. So Austin Hooper's gone. Fantasy-wise, Calvin Ridley is the guy I think is going to have a monster year with Julio there on the field.
Yeah, I like Calvin Ridley,
KB?
but I don't think he's a breakout wide receiver. He's had 17 touchdowns over the first 2 seasons of his career, so I think we know his name. He's going to reestablish himself as one of the better pass catchers, but 17 touchdowns in 2 years to start your career, he's already broke out.
Nate, there's an expression that goes, with chaos comes opportunity. A little bit of chaos in New England right now and change. How about Nikhil Harry, a guy who Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick decided to spend a first-round pick on? Jarrett Stidham, Nikhil Harry, that get you fired up or what?
I mean, Kyle, I'm asking you, how much faith do you have in Stidham? I like Nikhil Harry, and this isn't me taking a shot at him, but if Nikhil Harry couldn't really get going with Tom Brady, and I know he's banged up, do you actually believe he's going to be that much better with Stidham? I think it's going to be, there's going to be some growing pains with Stidham and Harry. I think they're like 2 years away from him really showing everybody how good he really is.
Nate, is there an award for Will Fuller being on your breakout wide receivers list for 16 straight seasons? Will Fuller, come on, Nate, he's 35 years old. I got Cortland Sutton from the Broncos. They added KJ Hamler and Jerry Jeudy, two dynamic receivers. Only going to accentuate what Cortland does. Cortland's a young dude. He's not Will Fuller entering his 40s. What do you got to say?
Well, he had 1,000 yards last year, Peter. How much more do you want him to break out? Do you want him to break Calvin Johnson's record? Yeah, I do believe Cortland Sutton in that offense with Drew Lock and then adding KJ Hamler and Jerry Jeudy, they're going to be fantastic. But I was trying to pick guys that haven't hit that 1,000-yard mark that we kind of know who they are, but we're not sure if they can get to that mark.
How about Larry Fitzgerald? Is he a breakout guy, Nate?
Listen, the 1,000-yard mark is something that we don't see often. You know what I mean?
So Calvin Ridley is a first-round wide receiver who's never had 1,000 yards, Nate.